floors high above the avenue. I watch the city fade to velvet blue. Curtains move like they knew my name, and the night came soft without making a claim. The room behind me held a half-packed case, a coat on the chair and an empty space. Down below the taxis rolled like sparks, disappearing slow through the downtown dark. I did not come here looking for grace, just a little silence in a slower pace. But the skyline whispered through the balcony rail, like an old confession caught in the sail. Let the horn cry low where the streetlights bend. Let the piano fall like a tired old friend. I got no letter, no promise to keep, just a city breathing while the world falls asleep. A glass of water sweating by the door, my shoes left waiting on the polished floor. The elevator hummed from another life, carrying strangers past their private nights. There's a certain kind of quiet in a rented room. It does not judge you, it just makes space for gloom. And every window glowing down the block looks like a heart that forgot to lock. Let the horn cry low where the streetlights bend. Let the piano fall like a tired old friend. I got no letter, no promise to keep, just a city breathing while the world falls asleep. Through darker towns, watch my pride lay its burden down. Tonight I leave the ache unspoken. Not every lonely man is broken. The moon sat pale on a rooftop sign, silver on the bottle, smoke in the line. Heard a train far off and low, calling through places I used to know. No grand goodbye, no bitter scene, just a quiet soul in a midnight screen. The balcony held what I could not say, and let the blue notes drift away. Let the horn cry low where the streetlights bend. Let the piano fall like a tired old friend. I got no letter, no promise to keep, just a city breathing while the world falls asleep. Morning will find me moving on before the gold reaches the curtains drawn. But for one calm hour above the town, the blues came gently and sat me down. The chairs are turned like tired old men. The floor still hums from where trouble has been. The glass keeps watch on a table of oak, while the night leans low in a ribbon of smoke. The clock on the wall lost its mercy at 2. Bartender's hands moving slow and blue. Somebody left here an hour ago. Now only the shadows remember the show. I paid for my silence in nickels and dimes, left half my heart in the jukebox lines. A coat on my shoulder, a name in my throat, and a song too heavy for a man to quote. Pour me one more minute before the room goes still. Let that soft piano roll across the windowsill. I ain't chasing sorrow, I'm just letting it pass, like a ghost in the mirror of an empty glass. There's a blue note sleeping by the back room door, and dust from old stories on the wooden floor. The city outside got no kindness to spare, just headlights fading through the midnight air. I've seen good men fold under brighter lights, seen proud hearts bend on colder nights. But this little corner knows the shape of pain, and how to let it leave without calling its name. Pour me one more minute before the room goes still. Let that soft piano roll across the windowsill. I ain't chasing sorrow, I'm just letting it pass, like a ghost in a mirror of an empty glass. Someone speak low when they loosen the chain. A man can be broken and still sit straight, waiting on peace at 8:15. The lamp above me burns honey and gold, warm as a secret too heavy to hold. I tip my hat to the room and the night, leave my last burden in the amber light. Pour me one more minute before the room goes still. Let that soft piano roll across the windowsill. I ain't chasing sorrow, I'm just letting it pass, like a ghost in the mirror of an empty glass. The door sighs open, the street breathes cold. Behind me the blues turn silver and old. No goodbye spoken, no prayer, no plan, just the quiet steps of a midnight man. The chairs were turned on the tabletops. One red bulb swung where the ceiling stops. A silver tray held 3 unpaid sins, and the night leaned close with a crooked grin. I watched the barman wipe the counter slow, like he was cleaning off ghosts from long ago. My coat hung heavy on a rusted nail, with the scent of old streets and a half-told tale. A woman's laughter faded down the hall. Then silence came and took it all. The ash burned low in a chipped glass tray, while the house band played what words can't say. Nobody wins when the hour gets thin. You just count what you lost and pour again. I raise my glass to an empty chair, for For all the names that never made it there is last call in a smoky room, where a tired heart makes peace with gloom. One slow guitar, one bitter tune, and blue light hanging like a broken moon. I won't beg the dawn to come too soon. I'll sit with the dark and the old perfume. Let the bass walk low through the final bloom. It's last call in a smoky room. The piano man closed his eyes to play a little black coffee at the edge of day. His fingers move like worn-out shoes, dragging old mercy through 12-bar blues. The harp came crying from a corner stand, like rusted steel in a working man's hand. Drums brushed soft as a secret kept, while the city outside rolled over and slept. I had no sermon, I had no plan, just the quiet weight of a weathered man. Some nights don't heal, they only spare a little room for you to breathe in there. It's last call in a smoky room, where a tired heart makes peace with gloom. One slow guitar, one bitter tune, and blue light hanging like a broken moon. I won't beg the dawn to come too soon. I'll sit with the dark and the old perfume. Let the bass walk low through the final bloom. It's last call in a smoky room. There's a dollar folded under my glass, a final witness to the hours that passed. The mirror showed me a stranger's face, with a little less fire and a little more grace. No choir came, no trumpet cried, no white-winged promise open wide. Just smoke, wood, whiskey, and a minor key, and that was enough company for me. The sign went black above the door. The broom moved slow across the floor. Somebody laughed on the avenue, but it sounded far from the world I knew. I left my glass where the shadows bend. Not every story needs an end. The band packed up, but the feeling stayed. In the last low note, the guitar man played his last call in a smoky room, where a tired heart makes peace with gloom. One slow guitar, one bitter tune, and blue light hanging like a broken moon. I won't beg the dawn to come too soon. I'll sit with the dark and the old perfume. Let the bass walk low through the final bloom. It's last call in a smoky room. The chairs were turned, the door was chained. A little smoke in the rafters remained, and somewhere under that fading tune, I left my name in a smoky room. ceiling lights were soft and dim, gold on the walls, cold under my skin. An elevator bell rang once, then died, leaving silence on the other side. I took my seat where the marble shone, in a building too old to stand alone. A folded paper by a leather chair carried bad news nobody wanted to share. The night clerk nodded and lowered his eyes, like he knew the shape of a man's disguise. My hands were still, but my mind walked slow through every hallway I used to know. Let the lobby lights burn low for me, let the soft keys drift where my heart can breathe. I ain't waiting on fortune, I ain't asking why, just counting calm minutes till the dark slips by. The brass door numbers caught the pale moonlight, like old coins left from a harder time. A suitcase stood near the velvet rope, holding more dust than a man should hope. Somewhere above, a room phone rang, then gave up softly without a name. I heard my trouble in that fading tone, a tired little echo dressed in stone. Let the lobby lights burn low for me, let the soft keys drift where my heart can breathe. I ain't asking why, just counting calm minutes till the dark slips by. No crowd inside, no place left for a man to hide, but a quiet room with polished floors can open up what pride ignores. I watch the clock lean toward the day, with silver hands in a patient way. My shadow stretched across the stone, long as the road I had walked alone. When the first cab rolled by the entrance glass, I let one breath from the old night pass. Not healed, not lost, not made brand new, just steady enough to see it through. Let the lobby lights burn low for me. Let the soft keys drift where my heart can breathe. I ain't waiting on fortune, I ain't asking why, just counting calm minutes till the dark slips by. The bell rang twice and the door slid wide. Morning stood quiet on the other side. I tipped my hat where the lamplight fell and left my blues in the marble well. The coffee pot whispers on a silver plate. Two cracked cups waiting by the counter gate. A cook in the back hums under his breath, while the street outside looks tired to death. I slid in quiet past the red vinyl seat, with dust on my shoes from the downtown heat. The waitress nodded like she'd seen my kind, men with heavy pockets and a louder mind. There's grease on the window, steam on the glass, a bus rolling by with nobody to ask. I came for the silence between the spoons and the slow blue mercy of a half-lit room. Let that midnight smoke rise over my coffee black. I ain't looking forward, I ain't walking back. Just give me 1 hour where the world moves slow, at the corner diner where the old blues go. A newspaper sleeps by a sugar jar, headlines cold as a railroad car. The neon clock blinks but it don't complain. It keeps bad time like a man keeps pain. I heard my trouble in the griddle side, saw my years in the waitress eye. Some nights don't need a preacher or a prayer, just a worn out booth and the smell of air. Let that midnight smoke rise over my coffee black. I ain't looking forward, I ain't walking back. Just give me 1 hour where the world moves slow, at the corner diner, where the old blues go. No silver moon, no velvet stage, just salt burnt toast and a folded page. But a man can heal in a place this plain, where nobody asks him to explain. The cook rang twice and the doorbell cried. A cold wind stepped in from the avenue side. I warmed both hands on a chipped white mug and let my pride come loose from the rug. The last few cars rolled out of sight, like slow regrets in the sodium light. I left a bill where my shadow had been, and walked back out with less weight within. Let that midnight smoke rise over my coffee black. I ain't looking forward, I ain't walking back. Just give me 1 hour, where the world moves slow, at the corner diner, where the old blues go. The sign kept buzzing after I was gone, a tired little hymn before the dawn. No grand salvation, no holy fire, just a calm blue note on a telephone wire. The clock on the wall don't tell the truth. It just keeps lying like a man in a suit. Ash in the tray, low light on the floor, somebody's shadow slipping out the back door. I came in quiet with a nickel of pride, a bad old memory walking by my side. The room smelled heavy, the lamps burned low, like every lost soul had nowhere to go. A red-eyed jukebox hummed in the dark. The bartender moved like he knew every scar, and an old black guitar by the corner seat had 6 steel strings full of backstreet heat. No one asked me where I'd been, no one cared what trouble I was in. The night just leaned on the bar real slow and whispered, "Son, let the blue notes go. Whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar, burning slow where the lonely men are. One glass deep and one heart tight, blue notes rising like a backroom fire. Let that six string talk for me, let it drag my sorrow through the key. I ain't looking for heaven, I ain't walking far, just whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar. There's a woman in Paris with a cigarette smile, been staring through life for a long, long while. She taps her glass to the drummer's brush, like silence itself got a little too much. The piano rolls like a train underground, the bass walks heavy with a worn-out sound, and that harmonica cuts through the room like a blue steel blade in a velvet tomb. I don't need mercy wrapped in gold, I don't need stories I've already told. Just pour me a note from the bottom shelf, I came here to sit with the worst of myself. Whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar, burning slow where the lonely men are. One glass deep and one heart tight, blue notes rising like a backroom fire. Let that six string talk for me, let it drag my sorrow through the key. I ain't looking for heaven, I ain't walking far, just whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar. There's dust on the mirror, truth on the floor, a preacher's old hat by the service door. Some men gamble, some men pray, some just drink till the hurt steps away. The lights turn blue, the room turns thin, every note pulls another ghost in, and I can hear my own name fall apart in the slow bend strings of a tired man's heart. Last call came with a cigarette cough, the bartender killed half the neon off, but I stayed right there with my hands held still, like the night had written me into its will. That old guitar didn't beg or shout, it just pulled every buried thing out. By the time the dawn touched the empty bar, I was nothing but smoke and a midnight guitar. Whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar, burning slow where the lonely men are. One glass deep and one heart tight, blue notes rising like a backroom fire. Let that six string talk for me, let it drag my sorrow through the key. I ain't looking for heaven, I ain't walking far, just whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar. The clock on the wall still don't tell the truth, the ashtray's cold, but it holds the proof. Somewhere low, where the old blues are, still burns whiskey smoke on a midnight guitar. crooked lamp leaned over the stage, throwing tired gold on a whiskey-stained page. The room sat quiet, but the air felt broke. Then I heard that old guitar moan beneath the smoke. I took my seat where the floorboards wind, near a cracked black case and a bottle of rye. No one was smiling, no one played proud, just a low-down sound moving under the crowd. The singer cleared a throat full of years, sang about death's hard luck and fears, but the words fell short when the strings awoke, and that old guitar moaned beneath the smoke. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't clean, it had rust on the edges and a backstreet lean. Every bend note dragged something close from the dark little places a man don't show. Oh, guitar moan beneath the smoke, talk to me slow when my pride is broke. I got a heavy glass and a hollow chair, a little bit of mercy in the midnight air. Oh, guitar moan, don't let me lie. Tell the room what I keep inside. If my voice won't carry and my heart won't cope, let that old guitar moan beneath the smoke. The piano rolled in with a velvet hand, soft as dust on a wedding band. The bass walked circles around my shame, like it knew my shadow by its first name. A harmonica slipped through the backroom gloom, thin blue steel in a wooden room, and the drummer brushed time off the edge of the night, like he was sweeping up the last bit of light. I didn't come begging for a brand new start, just needed one song to loosen my heart. Some men break loud, some barely choke, some hear themselves in the bend of smoke. Oh, guitar moan beneath the smoke, talk to me slow when my pride is broke. I got a heavy glass and a hollow chair, a little bit of mercy in the midnight air. Oh, guitar moan, don't let me lie. Tell the room what I keep inside. If my voice won't carry and my heart won't cope, let that old guitar moan beneath the smoke. There's no clean road out of a crooked past, no silver cure at the bottom of a glass, just wooden wire, sweat and sin, and a blue note crawling underneath my skin. The mirror caught me looking away, like it knew what I couldn't say. Then the strings bent low with a funeral grace, and laid my troubles right there in place. The clock struck 3 with a tired little sound. Ash fell soft without touching the ground. The singer stepped back, let the silence speak, while the guitar wept where the walls were weak. I left no story, I left no claim, just a folded bill and a half-burned name. But I carried that sound down the avenue, like a scar that finally learned the blues. the smoke. Talk to me slow when my pride is broke. I got a heavy glass and a hollow chair, a little bit of mercy in the midnight air. Oh, guitar moan, don't let me lie. Tell the room what I keep inside. If my voice won't carry and my heart won't cope, let that old guitar moan beneath the smoke. A crooked lamp leaned over the stage. The last blue note slipped off the page. And long after the ballroom lights went cold, that old guitar kept moaning low. The sign outside keeps buzzing low, red and blue where the street lights glow. A man can hide, but the night still sees every little crack in his dignity. I found a stool at the end of the bar with a burn mark shaped like a falling star. The room was thick with a backdoor tune, and the clock hands crawl past 2:30. There's an old six-string with a crooked neck, leaning hard like a gambler's deck. Every scar in that weathered wood said more than any preacher could. I didn't come here looking clean, I didn't come for a silver dream. I came to hear what the dark might bring through neon shadows in an old six-string. Neon shadows in an old six-string. That's where the hard time angels sing. Low blue fire in a whiskey glass, burning through the ghosts of my past. Let the guitar speak, let the back room cry, let the smoke draw lines through the midnight sky. I got no crown, I got no ring, just neon shadows and an old six-string. The piano man wore a tight black vest, played each chord like a last request. The bass walked slow with a heavy soul, like it knew which way the lost men go. A mellow harp cut the room in two, sharp as truth but soft as blue. And the drummer brushed out a working man's prayer for every empty chair still sitting there. Nobody laughed too loud that night, nobody danced in the broken light. We just leaned where the smoke would cling to neon shadows and an old six-string. Neon shadows and an old six-string. That's where the hard time angels sing. Low blue fire in a whiskey glass, burning through the ghosts of my past. Let the guitar speak, let the back room cry, let the smoke draw lines through the midnight sky. I got no crown, I got no ring, just neon shadows and an old six-string. Some men carry diamonds, some carry shame, some change cities but keep the but that old guitar don't dress up, paint it, bends it slow through a rusted chain. One note falls, then another one stings like neon shadows on broken wings. By last call, the room turned still. The bartender counted up the till. Blue light bent on the dirty floor like it had been there many nights before. I left no promise, I left no plea, just a little more silence where my heart should be. And behind me, low as a sinner's hymn, that old guitar started talking again. Neon shadows and an old six string, that's where the hard time angels sing. Low blue fire in a whiskey glass, burning through the ghosts of my past. Let the guitar speak, let the back room cry, let the smoke draw lines through the midnight sky. I got no crown, I got no ring, just neon shadows and an old six string. The sign outside keeps buzzing low. Blue light fades where the lonely men go. And somewhere deep where the dark still clings, there's neon shadows and an old six string. Platform lights were hanging low over steel tracks, running cold and slow. A suitcase leaned where the shadow stayed, like it had carried every choice I made. The station clock kept talking in brass, counting each minute as the last trains passed. Old paper tickets curled in my hand, bound for nowhere I could understand. A porter swept dust from the waiting room floor, then locked his eyes on the exit door. I sat with my hat pulled down just right, trying to make peace with the weight of the night. Blow that harmonica soft and low, let it follow where the cold rails go. I got no hurry, I got no name, just a tired heart riding the midnight train. The bench was hard, but it held me true, better than places I once passed through. A lantern swung by the service gate, keeping warm watch over men. There's a sound in a station after the crowd. It does not beg and it does not speak loud, just iron breath and a distant call, like the whole world leaning against the wall. Blow that harmonica soft and low, let it follow where the cold rails go. I got no hurry, I got no name, just a tired heart riding the midnight train. Cheaper towns, watch bright promises turn around, but tonight I do not curse the past. Some heavy miles were built to last. The rails shone silver under station glass, a quiet warning that all things pass. My reflection stood in the ticket booth pane, looking like a man who survived his pain. When the engine groaned from track number 3, it sounded like mercy calling me. I picked up my bag without a word and followed the lowest note I heard. Blow that harmonica soft and low, let it follow where the cold rails go. I got no hurry, I got no name, just a tired heart riding the midnight train. The clock kept turning after I moved on, keeping old secrets till the edge of dawn. And somewhere behind me, fading and thin, that slow blues breath began again.